And new on Rising this morning, a disturbing distinction for the city of Fort Myers. Movoto, a real estate research blog, naming Fort Myers as one of America's most dangerous small cities, if you can believe that. Now, the study is based on FBI crime reports of burglaries and thefts, among other criteria.
That's right. And this morning, to learn more about this study and what it all means, we're joined now by Patrick Brown via Skype. He's in Indiana this morning, and he's actually one of the men behind the study at Movoto. So good morning, Patrick. We're so glad you're with us this morning.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Well, we want to know, how did you come to this conclusion anyway? This clearly is not a list that Fort Myers, an area in Southwest Florida, does not want to be on at all. So what exactly did you look at to get to this conclusion?
Well, we looked specifically at FBI crime data in a few different categories. Specifically, we looked at murders, rape, robbery, assault, and property crimes such as burglary, theft, and motor vehicle theft. We took all that data, and the FBI actually has it categorized as, on a per capita basis. And we actually got that data for Fort Myers and put it into a kind of algorithm that we have here in our office, and came up with a list putting Fort Myers actually as the 15th 15th city most likely to actually be involved or a victim of a crime.
And that's definitely some information that, once again, we're not too happy to hear about, but it's something that we feel as though all of our viewers should know. It's pretty interesting. Now, when we looked through the results, we saw lots of Florida cities actually involved in the study. We also saw several other Florida cities. Tell us about that. Is there something that we're seeing about Florida? Is there a trend there, perhaps?
Well, actually, there's actually a couple of economists here in the office, myself included, and it's something that really surprised us as well, and something we'd really like to look into. But there's a few different things that it could be from. But specifically, again, we were looking at small cities here, so only cities that were between 50 and 75,000 people. Florida does have quite a bit of cities like that, so that may have contributed to it a little bit, just the sheer number of those size cities. But at the same time, I think it's very interesting, something to look into for further studies.
And Patrick, this area in particular is still trying to recover from the housing market, and we have seen some improvements. Do you think this is going to have a negative effect on that, or has this, real estate issue that we had here in the past maybe even had some kind of an effect on crime in this area over the past few years?
Well, truly, from the real estate perspective, there's going to be crime and there's going to be good parts in any city. From our perspective, we want to make sure that our consumers know actually what that dichotomy, what's good and what's bad. So specifically, it shouldn't necessarily affect real estate in a horrible way, but it is still something to consider.
Well, Patrick, we want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. Perhaps we can invite you back on the show when you have some better news for us for Fort Myers and Southwest Florida. But once again, thank you for doing that study and for being on the show with us. Thank you so much, Patrick Brown with Movoto Real Estate Blog. Thank you.